In this episode, I'm going to continue working on the track, building upon it, so seeing if I can get it to a stage where it's ready to arrange. What I found after I was done recording that last episode was I didn't feel like I had a complete vision of what I wanted this track to be or where I wanted it to go. It's a good start, but I mean, it can get, like, what's here right now can get boring very quickly. I need to add a couple more elements in it, and then stuff that I can modify or automate throughout the song just to keep it moving. So what I've done off camera is basically I've tried to come up with some more ideas. What I've done is actually gone away, listened to a couple of songs, and then I've looked through Splice. I've gone through different parts of Splice and looked at different instruments just to see if there's anything that could spark some inspiration. So I'll quickly run through what it is that I've had a play with, and just to see if any other ideas come to mind. The first thing was this kind of plucky sound. So it was a bass, but then I've treated it more like a pluck. So you can see it's a really high bass sound, but it almost acts like a synth. Interesting idea. I'm not sure if it's going to be in there at the end of the song. Some sort of inspiration might spark from it down the line. The second thing I tried was some sort of acid line. Don't think I'm going to end up using it, but let's keep it there for now. Another sound I tried was some vocal, I don't even know what you call them, one-shots or ad-libs. Get the idea there. Some sort of brass saxophone it might have been. And then another thing I've tried with that sample is I've actually dropped it in and selected one specific note of it so I can play it on the keyboard or in MIDI. I've also applied some sort of Echo Boy effect on it that makes it sound mental. This is how it sounds dry with the Echo Boy on. And then the other thing I tried with this is some sort of weird effects, downlifter almost. It actually reminds me of Rebuke, Dear Stalker. That's how it sounds in the track. None of these things gel together. All I was doing was just throwing some ideas in there just to spark some sort of inspiration, and then I came across this sample. I think it's quite unique in a way. I've not heard any tech house songs recently with this sort of sound, so immediately I was drawn to it. I thought, okay, this is different. Let's see what I can do with it. All I've done really in the first 8-bar loop is just cut up the very start of it, or sorry, the second bar of it almost. And then at the end what I've done is I've tuned it down to one semitone. It's very bouncy, I really like it, and I think this is the path I'm going to go down. I'm still not going to delete any of this stuff because I feel like some of it might be used again or possibly used alongside this. One other thing I tried was how it sounds using a bit more of the loop. So yeah, that's where I'm at. The goal of this episode is to try and finalise the 8-bar loop and hopefully get something ready to start arranging. So that sounds like some sort of piano or Rhodes to me. So if I can try and recreate that, find out what the chords are that are being played, that might open up a path for a couple more ideas. Okay, I'm just going to play around with these sounds and see what comes to my head. Quite like that. I'm going to record those, but what I'm thinking is it's still not close to this sound. I might try and record in the chords I've just played, so, and and whatever the rhythm was, and then try and recreate it with that sample just to see how that sounds. Jamming as if I know how to play the piano. I feel like we're going down a bit more of a housey path now. It's kind of going away from generic tech house and more towards a bit of a house vibe. It could work. I'm not sure if it's relevant anymore, but even though it might not make it into the track, this is what has got me to this point so far. That gave me the idea to try and figure out what the chords were, to find out what the sound was. Then we moved on to doing something like this. Finally, we're up to this point now. Some silky chords. Let's see how it sounds with this pluck. that note, as weak as it is there, reminded me of some sort of train horn sound, you know, like you'd hear in a Fisher song or something. It's interesting, but it's a note from me.
Always nice to see you, says the man behind the counter. And instead I pour the milk.
If I was doing a dubstep remix of this, I had this idea for the vocal. It's so silly.
And instead I pour the milk.
Ugh, milk's fucking off. Okay, I'm happy with where this is going, so what I'm going to start doing is actually arranging the track more, just to get out of this loop mode, otherwise I'll be stuck in it forever. Let's tidy the project up a bit. So, I'll just run you through quickly what I've just done. I've just made an intro called DJ Intro, then the intro to the song, and now I'm going to start adding the extra elements that we've made today. This is a little trick I like to do to edit any sort of loop very quickly. What it's doing is it's cutting the volume down of the loop every quarter note. So this is how it sounds without it. You can hear those hi-hats sustaining a bit longer. With it on, the auto pan on, those sustained hats are a little bit shorter now, and it makes this loop anyway feel a bit tighter together. The way I like to use this little trick is just to automate it on and off again, just to keep the energy from being too much at the start, and then once it grooves into the main part of the song, that's when you can turn it off and then have those sustaining hats properly shining through. See, with it off, the hats are really punching through, but with it on, they're in the back more. You can hear them less. You can even do it on the hi-hats as well. You could just automate this sustain and decay, but this works pretty well for loops when you've not got those options. using a reference track at the moment. What I like to do, I sometimes think that reference tracks limit you. What I'm trying to do here is just see how I feel the track should go. As I'm playing it, I'm like, okay, I can hear the next phase of the song. This is what I'm going to do. And then if I get stuck, that's when I'll start using reference tracks for arrangement purposes. And then at the end, I'd sometimes drop one in to compare it and just see how it grooves with that song. If that song is shorter or longer in certain areas, that's the way I like to work. I got two of the exact same clap playing. What's going on there? With about 2 hours work on this, my camera's about to die, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to continue working on this. I'll speed up the video, a little time lapse of what I'm changing so you can still see what I'm doing.